Yo, yo, check 1 2. What's going on, fam? It's been a long time since I've been here on a Saturday afternoon. But yo, I'm back in the mix with your man, the mighty Blaksawd, representing Beagle FM 88.1. Right now, it's the Third Spot special. Since I haven't been here for a long time, I would say local. I don't know if my man considers himself local yet. I mean, he came from another part of Aotearoa up into our shores. Now he's here. He's working hard for his family. He's doing this thing, man. I'll let him introduce himself. Why don't you let the people know who you are, man?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's MC Horison. I reside right here in Whangarei, Northland. So I come up from Rotorua, but right here is where I am. It's where my kids are born, so it's where my heart is.
Yo. So let's go through a little bit of background, brother. Like a little bit of your whakapapa, what you're about as an artist. I don't know if I want to say you're a rapper, because I'd say you're more of an MC.
Whoa. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But why don't you give me a little bit of background about Horison? You know, like what your music's about. What message are you trying to put out there? If there's a message at all, I don't know. There may not be.
The message for me has changed. Like over the years, I've been making my music for, like, when I really think about it seriously, probably close up to 15 years.
Yo.
Which is a long time when you think about it, but I've just been growing and evolving throughout that time. And yeah, from everything that I started making when I was younger to now, like the direction is always changing. So I have a different perspective on life today than I did back then.
Okay. So let's take us through the timeline, man. So like when you first started, so you say you've been doing this music thing for about around 15 years. So you started, must have been like...
It was in high school.
Yo.
Back in high school, yeah. Any of the bros on the friends list will know. We started out with a crew called Dangerous Minds back in high school. This is around our 5th form, 6th form year. And we're making music just circa that time period.
Yeah.
Doing gigs and stuff around Rotorua and Bad Plenty.
Shout out to Rotorua.
It was just a fun time, eh? Moving through the years, I went on my own solo tip, so away from our group that we had and the small scene that we had back there. And yeah, I've just been doing music on my own since then, and yeah, just growing with the music as my as myself grew as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of the things that we used to get into as young bucks applied to the stuff and music that we were making back then. Contrary to now, I'm in a different place and different frame of mind. Mm-hmm. So the music that I make these days is a lot more closer to who I am today.
Right. So like, who were you influenced by at that time, back in the day when you first started?
Hip hop for me started with Bone Thugs and Harmony, So, I mean, that was my first taste of hip hop back in, I think around intermediate. Before then, it was a lot of reggae and country and old Māori songs that.
Okay, listen. What's this reggae country, man? Who are we talking about? What artists are we talking about?
We're talking about Bob Marley, UB40, primarily actually. Country was just a lot of stuff that I heard playing in the background, you know, from the koros and the nans and all that.
Yeah.
And I found my own genre of music when I started listening to hip hop in intermediate. I was introduced to it by a lot of mates. Bone Thugs and Harmony was me throughout my very early teens, and then I'm very much influenced by Eminem, Kanye West, and a lot of the local scene, really, yeah. Especially from the 2000s period. There was a huge time in New Zealand hip hop, and it really affected me and influenced me as well. Yeah.
So were there any at the time, like you said, in the 2000s, there was a real massive surge of Aotearoa hip hop coming out at that time. Were there any cats coming out of Rotorua or around that area that were involved in that surge?
There was a lot of like dudes but we didn't really. There was nothing that mainstream that was really put in front of us, like on I suppose a radio scale. So all the dudes we knew of back down home, was like just passed around through mixtapes and things like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, we knew dudes like Decepticons and who else was really doing it back then, like P Money and Shay Fu and everything like that. And to us, for me, being from a small town like Urutarua, they were big time for us. So it was always just looking up, just like how we look up at pioneers from the States and all that. Yeah, like that's how it felt. That's how big and how influential I felt the scene was back then.
And what about now? What's your whakaro? What's your opinion on Bone Thugs and Harmony in 2019? Have you checked any of the new stuff, or you leaving those good memories back there where it is?
For me, it's in that era. So you know,
so you ain't checking for Bone no more?
Oh, I'm still on. You know, my ears are still open.
Yeah.
And when something comes along that catches my ear, I'm in there. But yeah, like always, yeah. I got all my memories and all my, all my influences back in the earlier stuff. Yeah, from the time they started up to maybe the 2000s.
Yeah. So since we're talking about time, and we just spoke about your early influence, before we actually came on the air today, I played your song, which is from what I heard dedicated or about your beautiful wife, who just happens to be here in the studio as well.
Yeah.
You want to send a shout out to her?
What's up? She knows who she is.
Nice and simple. So how did you, like, obviously it's about, you know, your aroha for your wife, like what made you want to write her a song? I guess like you've actually rapped to her thousands of times throughout
like,
time together, you know what I mean? So like
yeah.
What was the what made the coin drop and think, man, I'm actually gonna write a song and put it out there?
That track, it's called Married and Happy, is the first single that I actually released on like we as artists, we make music all the time and we give it out to our friends, we give it out for free, we give it out, but this was my first actual official release.
As Horison?
Yeah.
Were you Horison back in the day too?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But like, yeah, it took me a while, It took me a while to get out there, like really get out there. But for me, it felt like I needed to release something that spoke volumes about not only myself, but about the morals that I put on not only my relationship, but how I feel we as men can treat our relationships from today going forward. You know, we're in a different era and time that we've seen our dads and our koros come from. And that track, when I listen to a lot of music, it's derogatory to women, derogatory to females in general, and I wanted to step away from all that with my own music, and speak not only positively, but I can't really find the words, but just really wanted to emphasize on the importance of one, just being loyal, you know, having something good and taking care of it, just simple as that, you know. And we as like I'm in my 30s now and I have a daughter, so I wanted to be able to find somebody who might have heard my track with something similar, that's been able to take away like a new idea or perspective on how to carry yourself as a male, a partner, and yeah, just be different from what we're
from what you hear
from what
on the radio,
we're shown,
like the mainstream shit.
Yeah, a lot of it is the and I love it too. You know, if it's a jam, it's a jam. But a lot of it is really encouraging that
a certain way of living, a certain lifestyle.
Yeah. And for me, that's not it. What you hear on that track is that, you know, that's my idea of how we should be and how we should be representing ourselves in our, you know what I mean?
Yeah. that's the first time, because I've heard snippets of it, but that's the first time I've actually sat here and listened to it. Bro, it's dope. Like I said, man, I like the way that you rap. I like your concepts. I like the way that you rhyme and all that stuff. You know, like, yeah, man, I like good lyricists. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
So let's go through the process, man. Like, what's your process? Where do you have to be? I think I caught something on Facebook not too long ago that you know, can correct me if I'm wrong. You like to write your rhymes when you're sitting in the
I'll be honest with everybody out there. Yeah, like when I'm in an isolated space is where I find that I have the best creative ideas, or they just rush to me. So yeah, any space that's quiet, isolated, sometimes dark, and yeah, where my mind can just you know, be completely clear is always good for me when I'm trying to be creative or write a song, or actually do anything creative. Yeah.
Where do you find the time for that? Like, like with your busy lifestyle and everything else with it, like, where do you find the time?
As of today, I'm always thinking. I feel like I've always been a bit of a thinker, so I could be anywhere really, and stuff, if it pops into my head, I try and grab that and just jot it down, or chuck it on the phone or something before it escapes. You know, any type of ideas or things that come through. I think we got to capitalize on them too. You never really know when something you know, hot is just going to drop into your lap. And I think that, you know, any field that you're in any field, whether it's music or whatever, you always just gotta keep your mind on that, and I'm never really completely focused.
Yeah,
but it does happen, and when it does, when you get that creative burst, you know, you just gotta run with it, because I mean, we all know what writer's block is, eh? Yeah, man. When writer's block hits, you could be in that room for a while. So when those bursts happen, I just try and run with it as much as I can.
Speaking of writer's block, how do you combat that?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm asking for myself.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Writer's block for me, I can just find myself writing down the trash, most garbage stuff that I'll ever read. But it's healing in a way, because at least I'm doing something.
Yeah, still getting it out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I have to say, man, the first time that I really saw or heard anything about you was when the brother Anaruto, shout outs to my man Andrew from LBB. You know what I'm saying? Yo, shout outs to AM. When the Low Budget Brotherhood brothers, go check them out on Facebook.
For real.
When they done a interview on you.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
I saw that he made a call out for local MCs to get involved with a project that he was putting together, which was the interviews, and I jumped at it at that time. I think it was last year, about maybe this time. I hadn't done anything musically for a while, and I was looking to get back into it, and it just came out of nowhere. So I just took the chance, got in contact, and he was happy to have me, and I was happy to be there. Yeah,
I thought it was a good interview. I like the way that. How long did that interview take? Like, how many takes did you guys do?
I was one take. We only talked for about maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But we stayed there, and I think we hung out for about 2 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, he's super chill. He's got ideas that. He's just a really chill guy. Good ideas, direction, and yeah, I'm all for supporting the bro in his cause.
Hard. Yeah. Andrew's crazy, man. But he's a good dude. I really like Andrew. And he's got a good team of other brothers with him. He's got who else did he have with him? Did he have Dino with him that day?
No, he told me that himself and Dean were looking at getting together. So that was just before the team started growing. So
it was just him.
Yeah, it was just him.
Grinding by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not too long ago, we LBB had a spoken word LBB sessions here.
Yep.
And that was dope, man, because it brought out a lot of MCs that I didn't know about. It also brought out female MCs as well.
Yep.
What is it like back home in Rotorua with female MCs. Is that a thing down there, or?
I actually, so I've been up here for coming up 10 years, I think, 10, 11
Oh, no
years.
way.
Yeah,
Oh, bro, you're local as.
So
I thought you just got here.
nah, like for me, like this is home, even though Little Turu is my home. But yeah,
Oh, damn.
I haven't actually been in touch with the Little Turu scene for years, bro. Like when it's buzzy just saying that I've been here for 10 years, because it feels like I've only been here for 10 minutes. Like
Snap.
that time's gone fast, and
Man, every time when I talk to you, you made it sound like you only been here for 10 minutes.
maybe it's I always try and carry that Bay of Plenty mantra around with me, which is like I see a difference in the Rotorua scene and the Northland scene. Northland scene's booming, man. It's booming, always booming. But the scene down home is really rapidly growing too, and I only get to catch that online.
Yeah.
Online is a real good tool for keeping in touch with different areas of the country and musicians and stuff like that. So, I mean, I love seeing the scene down home grow as well.
I think the only crew that I know from down there or around that area is Social Welfare.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, I think that's the only crew that I know down there. I've never done a show down there, so.
Yeah, they had, I've seen they were trying to get a battle league started down there. I'm not sure where that's at the moment. And I've seen a lot of different promoters and stuff from around the Bay of Plenty, Rotorua, Whakatane area, getting together gigs and all that. And like it's just cool. You see a lot of names on these posters, much like my own name, that you don't see all the time. And then once you dig into that and you're discovering new artists all the time, and they're from like I said, I've been doing this for close to 15 years. There's a lot of young talent just coming through now. They've got a different perspective on hip hop than you and I did.
Hard.
And the music that they're making now is crazy, because I can't possibly make music like today's teenagers and young adults do.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like,
Well, are we just talking like what they're talking about, or are we talking about like using that same style of beats as well?
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's easy to take any beat and to put something on it. But if you're accustomed to a certain type of style in that, for me it feels like I'm okay to step out of my own comfort zone. But at sometimes it feels like maybe I should just leave that for the dudes who do it the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody. Like, you got your style. You do that. There's a lot of in today's not scene, in today's hip hop industry culture. Sorry, where everything sounds sounds too similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do know that, and I did. But when I think about it, if you think about it, man, like this dude playing now, Biggie, this DJ Premier, no matter which artist he worked with, they all sounded pretty much the same.
It was, in that era, it had,
you know what I mean? And like people these days say, man, all the music sounds the same. I think, kind of sounded the same back in the day. It was all boom bap beats.
I think it's like you say with the boom bap beats. I think it was the production that drove everybody in a certain direction, and it's a lot like today. Every sort of beat you hear has a bit of similarity in it, and I think it drives everybody towards that same sort of style. But at the same time, it's cool. I'm still enjoying hip hop. A lot of people there's a lot of hip hop that I hate as well. But there was a lot of hip hop that I hated back in the 90s too. So there's something for everybody at the same time. I
think it's just harder to find the gold, the diamonds, the jewels now. You really got to go digging through all the horse shit to find the diamonds.
Yep.
Like the J. Coles and Kendricks and all those type of MCs that are out there, but
for real,
they're stuck in between all the little this and all those other dudes. And that's whack. But anyway, we ain't gonna talk about whack music. Let's talk about some dope music. Speaking of Raiders on the Cap, man.
Yes.
So where did this come from? Where did the inspiration come from? I saw a couple of your posts and you just got a shit ton of caps. I'm guessing it related to something like that, or are you a fan of the team? You've been for a long time.
NWA brought Raiders to my attention way back when. So for me, like I gotta admit, bro, I don't know if you know this, but I live in New Zealand, and like American football is not, it's not primarily what I'm into, but I was always a fan of the fashion and
the swagger.
Yeah, and that's me on my materialistic shit. You know, I try, like I said, I'm trying to open up topics and speak about things that really matter. But at the same time, man, everybody has a thing, and my thing is New Era Raiders caps. I'm always rocking them, man. There's something about the look, maybe it makes me look slimmer or something like that. I don't know, but that's where the inspiration for the track came from. I always wanted a follow-up single for Married and Happy, but I wanted something that was a groove, you know? Something that we just could relax on and not have to really think too much about and just chill on.
Yeah.
Nod your head to. So that, and that chorus just, it sort of drives the track and gives it a catchy feel to it. And my wife actually told me last week, because I put together that song in about 3 days, she told me that I needed to hurry up and get back on the music thing. Get something together. So I locked myself in the room, came out 3 days later with that track, and
beard and all.
Yeah, man, beard just
looking like Bigfoot and shit.
Far out, 5 kgs lighter. But I gotta be honest, it's probably my most fun track that I've ever made. So it's definitely a jam. I can't, I'm quite humble, but I gotta say, man, like, it's a fucking jam. Yeah.
Hey, man, if you don't like your music, then you can't expect anyone else to dig it,
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
That's dope, man. So, what was I gonna say? So Raiders in the Cap is out right now. People can go and cop it?
Yeah, man.
Where can they find it?
Everywhere.
We're gonna play it, by the way, but just let everyone know where they can find it.
If you're on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, I've just learned there's an app called Deezer which streams music as well. Google Play, Tidal. It's out, man. I can't believe I'm about to say this. It's out globally, worldwide, and you can find it everywhere. Type in Horison, Horison, Raiders on the Cap, and I'll pop up. Yeah, so that's basically it.
That little statement right there that you just made, I would say that, like, for cats our age, from a different era where it was pretty rare to be able to get on the radio, and when you did get on the radio, that was something huge. That meant something. Whereas now, like, like for the generations that have grown up in this digital age, getting their music out worldwide is.
It just hit me.
It's just another day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, back in our day, that there was value to that shit.
I dreamed of getting, like, a deal. I dreamed of getting on radio. I dreamed of, being on those same heights as
word up,
rappers.
Man.
And, like, it just hit me, like you just mentioned it. And, like, with a click, or, I can send my stuff to distribution, and there I am, right next to J. Cole. There I am, right next to Kendrick Lamar.
Exactly. Well, like, for me, man, we see people doing podcasts and, calling those radio shows, you know what I mean? But that's why I don't do that. I don't mind if people go live and shit on the radio show, but, for me personally, I keep it, to the raw form, man, just, straight on the frequency wave. Yeah. Just radio, because it's just, to me, it's got that feeling of that nostalgia that.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I'll be able to get on another radio show, no matter how big or small. It's just the feeling of being on the radio, because, like I said, at that time, it had a value to it.
Yeah.
Whereas
those steps got to be taken. In this day and age, with 2019 is a lot different from 2009. Just like that was a lot different from 1999, and it's kind of just the way everything is moving towards. Yeah. But I understand what you're saying. It just hit me just then.
You can just press a button and your music's everywhere around the world.
Yeah.
Whereas in the day, you'd have to flick mixtapes, like you said, and just get it out to the hood.
Yeah.
And then go into the city, catch a bus, and do it out there,
For real, yeah.
And that was the real grind.
And I gotta say, there was, back in that time, your options were limited.
Hard.
And cats would just actually not even give you a chance. So, it was, it's just the whole philosophy of it's not what you know, it's who you know. Whereas nowadays it's more of what you know rather than who you know. You can be a star, you can be a viral sensation or a household name and the next big thing.
That's what's
off an
crazy
Instagram video,
about
off a
today.
post, yeah.
You can be nobody today and then
Exactly.
just do one song and you are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're knocking the man who was at the top yesterday off his throne and now you're top dog. That is nuts.
I'm not putting anybody
But then
down.
you're gone just as quick.
Yeah.
You could be gone just as fast, you know?
I'm not putting anybody down, but we all know an example of that. You know, we wake up tomorrow and who's this? Bam, it's number one worldwide. So it's like, I mean, you know, but you know, at the same time, all right, get that money, man. Capitalize on that stuff as well. You know, it's about making moves, you know, building future, moving forward, and yeah, you know,
Hard.
I respect to that. Yeah.
So I think we've spoken about you as a songwriter, as a lyricist, as an MC, and how you create your songs. I think it's also just as important that right now we talk about the music, man. So I don't know, you want to give your producers shout out, whoever makes your beats.
Yeah, well, we play Married and Happy, which is produced by a dude called Thomas Krager. We're about to play Raiders on the Cat, which is produced by DJ Forgotten. Both these cats are international and they're crazy with the beats.
How are you picking the beats off them? Are you just like sending them an email or?
Yep, just traditionally ask please, and it's the whole. When I search for beats and that, because I'm not working with any producers in particular or anybody that I'm like very close to who's able to produce for me. So I got to do it the old-fashioned way. I got to go look for beats myself, and I have a particular sound and style that I need to hear in a beat before I move forward with making the track.
Yeah.
And so the process is either a beat will jump out at me and I'll go with it and see what I can do with it, or I think just like a lot of MCs locally, we've got books on books full of tracks and lyrics ready to go that we're just waiting for that one beat to come along that we'll be able to match what we've got written. So that's really where the music ties into it all, and when it does come together, man, it's a buzz too, just to hear it back and to hear your own stuff intertwined with something that complements your lyrics, your ideas, and that whole formula that drives your composition into something complete. To get that back at the end of it is just fucking buzzing, man. Something you can't really, like, if you're in this field, if you're an MC, a producer or something, that's, you know, something you can't really explain, you can just understand. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So who does all the mixing and the mastering and stuff like that? Is that you?
This guy right here, yeah. So I'm just the definition of a tutu, bro. Yeah.
So what you using at home?
They are all illegally downloaded. I ain't gonna front. Just
You can go find it yourself.
you go find it yourselves. Any program out there is very accessible. Oh man, what am I doing?
If you know where to look.
Oh man, So recording, mixing, mastering, editing. I do it all myself. I've just been learning over the years.
Yeah.
Picking up something new every time I go to sit down with a track, and it's always a learning curve. I'm hoping to one day be at a level where I can start offering myself to local artists and talent.
Like your services and stuff?
Yeah. Because there's a lot of dudes out there who maybe don't have access to equipment, or
they do have equipment and it's broken. Like me.
Very true. I've been there. Or they just don't understand that part, and you know, like
they just want to record and shit. They don't actually want to do all the other
Yeah.
stuff.
And that's something that I'm not quite there. I'm still just a tutu, but yeah, I'm looking at getting into that side, because I love more than recording and producing my own stuff. I love the whole creative process of mixing and everything like that. Like I said, I'm a tutu, bro. So yeah, if, once I'm at that level and able to offer that to others, to help everybody else, or to anybody else really, get their product more polished, then that's something that I'll be looking forward to as well.
So what's the next step for Horison, man? Like you're doing this, you're putting your music out online and people are loving you. What's next?
It's just a day at a time type thing. So I've got another single lined up that I'm about to start working on, and from there, the goal has always been to have my own album together.
Yeah,
I think that's everybody, like any musician's dream, is to have an album together. In an age where albums are really not considered, you see a lot of EPs these days, and but I think from dudes from our generation and our era, to have that album and that body of work that you can look back on one day, or even just have out there as a representation of you, your craft, your style, your music, is always going to be the goal for me till I tick that off, and then I'll be able to tell you what the next step is.
Yeah. Are you, in saying that, are you going? Does that mean you like print something? Like a hard copy, maybe like a CD or a vinyl or a tape.
Yeah, we're in the digital era right now, but nothing feels realer than the real thing.
Hard.
So, yeah, hard copies.
You can touch digital. It. You can, you created this shit.
Yeah,
it's real. It's authentic.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, hard. Like the digital stuff is cool and all for like the reach and where you can put it in front of so many people around the world, but. When you can hold something in your hand and say, I actually contributed or I actually created this.
Yeah.
It's got a...
And I think for a lot of...
better meaning or something.
A lot of artists who don't have that yet, like myself, it's something I'm always going to yearn for until it happens. Yeah. So that's... Yeah, I've got new music lined up. Still sifting through what I actually really want to use and what's going to... I'm not going to look at it and go, man, that's actually trash. But the goal is going to be that album. So I can't promise that it's going to be anytime soon, but definitely before this time next year. I put it on myself to have that box ticked off 2020.
Do you like taking your time because it's just from the area you're from? And what I mean is that, like, I know cats who put out a song every single week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I'm not saying that doesn't have value. All I'm saying is that, I don't know, maybe their work ethic is crazy. I mean, like, Tupac's a great example. His work ethic was crazy. Yeah. I think, like, back then it had a different meaning. Whereas now everything is so fast and everybody wants to keep shoving things in your face. I feel like that's kind of like a bit of a motivator to keep putting music out constantly all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what's your opinion on like the value of that by doing that all the time? Do you think it waters down?
It does in a way. So the way I look at it is you can have a huge influx of music, but it's unless you got that following or that fan base of followers who are consistently
checking for your stuff.
Check your stuff as well. I don't really see it as beneficial to your overall, to your overall, unless you have that. For me,
because I guess some people would interpret that as being hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, there's a lot of dudes who consist like. Couple of dudes I've seen, they got a new track out every 3 days, and I'm like, man, it takes me like 3 months to write one bloody track.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the content varies in
like the quality of the music. Yeah.
I'm very fussy. I suppose in my the latest stage that I'm in of making my music, I'm very much of I gotta say, a perfectionist. So I kind of like to just, if it feels right, I'll put it out. If I'm working towards something, I'll have an idea of when I want it to come out, but I'm not trying to rush anything. I'm trying to be consistent at the same time, keep the quality to a standard that I can be happy with and proud of.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, because I got to be my own biggest fan. If I'm not happy with it, then like you see, I can't expect anybody else to. So it's got to feel 100% to me before I let anybody else hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
that's what I mean, man. Like, you gotta back it. You gotta make sure that what you're gonna put on this plate in front of the people to have a feed on or to eat, you know,
Yeah,
for their
for
mind, that mind food, that brain food. Then, yeah, I guess, you know, it's gotta be. You gotta be happy with it. You know, it's gotta be a 10,
Like
not a 9.5 or.
My wife and my kids, they get to hear me working on new stuff all the time. There could be dozens of stuff that I'm sitting on right now that they're like, you know, you're not doing anything with it, but because to me, it's not complete. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So how do you stay sharp?
I didn't know I was sharp, right?
I'm just, you know.
Oh, man.
I ask everybody who
yeah.
raps the same questions, man. Like, how do they stay sharp? I mean, some dudes just think, oh, you know, it's just something I do.
Yeah, it's something that I
you
can't
know,
stop
everyone
doing.
has a different opinion.
Yeah, it's something that I can't stop doing, and I've thought about maybe it's time that years ago I thought maybe it's time to just put this to the side or try and finish it up. But
Then along came the internet.
Exactly. It just never stops. It keeps growing and evolving, keeps becoming more of a passion. So I'm not fighting it anymore, man. I love making hip hop music. I love making music in general, and I don't see me stopping. Yeah.
So, with your album that you're talking about, we don't know, or well, you have a fair idea of when you're gonna put it out.
Yeah.
Does that mean collaborations?
Yeah, definitely. And it all depends on a lot of the stuff that I intend to put into this project will be personal. So it's gonna have a lot of every single track I want to have significant to myself. So it's gonna be a lot of bringing in people that I know are gonna complement those same ideas, as well as share the same philosophies and want to work with me, at the same time. So I've got like the overall project that I'm thinking of, I've got a fair idea of what I want to do with it. And I'm always listening, and it's all local. It's all local cats from down Rotorua, Auckland area, dudes that I've been cool with for years, that I'm wanting to approach for features and things like that.
Yeah.
Nobody's heard anything from me yet. But once I have the blueprint drawn out, then that'll be the next phase, next process. Yeah.
Dope. So, are you planning to put an EP out before the album? I mean, just because that seems to be what's hot.
That was the plan, but for me, the EP will be the album. The album will be the EP. It's that was the idea, and that's the way it is right now too. You put out EPs. Some dudes just keep putting out EPs. In the frame of mind that I'm in right now, like, to be very honest, it might be the only complete project that I ever put out.
Yeah.
So for me, the album, the mixtape, the EP, they are gonna be all tied into that one, and the listener they'll get my perspective on everything that I want to showcase.
What about music videos?
Actually, it's a cool time. Good thing you brought that up, bro. I've got plans to do
because it's very important now, eh?
Yeah.
The visuals are very important, man.
Yeah, the visuals can make
sometimes
or break a
even
track,
more
bro.
important than the music itself.
A lot of tracks that I've heard first have been I haven't enjoyed it until I've seen that video. The video come along and changed my whole idea of it.
It's crazy, eh?
It is, man. So I've got the track that's just come out, Raiders on the Cap. We'll be filming a video for that soon, and that's all me too. Like, I've been wanting to reach out to a couple of cats for assistance, but at the same time, I like working on my own time, and I've got my own ideas and that. And this first one, I'd really like to put it together myself. So that's going to be actually the next thing that I work on, and that's going to be out hopefully very soon. Yeah, I'm not trying to waste time on this one.
Yeah. Because you just put out Raiders on the Cap. How long has it been out for? Like days?
It came out yesterday.
Yeah.
It came out yesterday, midnight. Yesterday.
I seen you pushing it hard.
Yeah,
I mean, as you should. You know what
I stepped back and I looked at myself pushing it hard, and I was like, "Geez, this guy needs to just chill."
Nah.
Yeah, but at the same time,
I think it's different. Well, this is just my opinion. I think there's a difference between you pushing your music hard and then you tagging every other person that's in your friends list.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a
try not-
difference
yeah.
between that.
I don't do that, eh? For me, that's like not
Yeah, I
putting
don't do
shade
that
on,
too.
Not putting shade on anybody, but for me, that's yeah, it's okay. It's okay, you know. And I'm okay when people tag me and stuff too. But for myself, I just don't want to look like that guy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I personally don't do it because I want people to discover me on their own
Yeah.
terms and to feel my music, you know, without, you know, just so they've found it and they've discovered it and they dig it for what it is,
Yeah.
not because they
For
were
real.
tagged in it or, you know, like organically. They
Yeah,
just
yeah.
just so stumble upon it and think, oh, far out, this is dope. You know, I want it like that. I don't want to have to like go, bro, you should listen to my music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Hey,
that's just my personal preference, though.
Yeah, like I was saying before, if I'm not happy with my own stuff, then I won't put it out. But ultimately, my own opinion is what I really want. So anything else on top of that for me really is a bonus. When I get props for any of my music or any projects or anything, that buzzes me out because it's what we do and what we look for. But when it actually happens, it's not really what I was digging for. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Have you reached out to any of the other local artists around the ways?
Around
Around
Northland?
like, yeah. Oh, in Northland. I'm not just going to say Whanganui. I mean, like in the Northland region.
I haven't, bro. So I've
I mean,
I've
you may
started
not
to-
have because you like to do things your own ways. As like, so do I.
yeah, I'm always lurking and watching the scene, like, and there's a lot of stuff that I enjoy in that. But yeah, working with others from around the region and that, I just actually haven't gotten around to that. So even getting down to catch up with you and come and check in on the show, I haven't been able to get around to doing that till today.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember I reached out to you a long time ago.
Yeah,
A long time.
yeah. Now it's got to be like months.
Yeah, but that's okay, you know. We all have our own lives and we're all doing different things. I mean, like, you're working on your music. What would, if that was me, what would I rather do?
Yeah.
Make some music and have some music to bring to the radio show?
Yep.
Or just come to the radio show and, not have any actual content to bring to it. So,
Yeah. I mean,
everything
it's-
works out in time, brother.
Yeah. I mean, I love the saying, everything happens for a reason. I've been
Yeah.
saying that for years, and I mean, I'm happy to just let things take themselves where they're going to take themselves. And for me personally, with my music and stuff like that, when it happens, and yeah, I mean, it's nothing I'm trying to force as well. But I'm happy where it's at the moment. Kind of wish that I would have gotten my ass into gear a long time ago, but I don't think I'd be making the same music now.
Yeah.
If I had it would have
same-
been a different time. Yeah.
So,
Before kids and all that. Yeah.
yeah. So
Naughty days.
there'd be a different message behind the music, right?
Yeah. Play up days.
Oh man. Okay. There is one more thing, bro, and I always do this. So I always do this every time I interview somebody who is from the hip hop community, especially my local community.
I'm getting my stretchers ready. I think
Yeah,
I know
man.
what's coming.
Yeah, man. I think you know, man.
Yo.
Every MC that comes up in here, you got to pay your rent.
I will.
And so
It'll be
everybody
on time.
who knows, man, who knows me, you know what's coming. We got Horison in the studio, 88.1 FM right here on Beagle Radio. To all my family that tuning into the Facebook feed, to everybody who's tuning in on the radio show right now. If you know me, you know what's about to happen. I've done it too. I've had Diggy Doop up in here, Luke and Razy, MIJ, Chubby Fly. I've had Full Effect up in here, the Naughty North Movement, my locals and everybody else from around the way. It's about that time, fam. My man Horison's about to pay his rent.
Your rent's due, mother. Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check it out. This is the dope spot, baby. Yo, Horison, make it go crazy. Never lazy when he's spinning the rhyme. But yo, Horison, give it to him one more
Yo, I
time.
create the sickness, spitting with honest wisdom, melodic scriptures. Advice you take antibiotics as you listen. Natural mischief, got no respect in my caliber, like my first update 8 on the calendar. But nah, I've been down to break flows way before I drop the puff like J-Lo. Whatever I say, go. Stole the broken wings off of the back of Kaylee to try and match my crooked halo. So take note and don't rely on assumptions off some other shit I outlined for you to color in. And all I see is character and personality reduction. Nah, sweet ass cousin is something I don't fuck with. The luck shit from the concrete, sitting up hell on earth like Mob Deep. Roll out the blood-stained carpet. The lost thief never fall to exhaustion like hot box heat. And fake peeps still remain targets. I'll play support act, and by the time I'm finished and you hit the stage, you know the audience will feel deficient, cause I steal shows. And taking me out just ain't applicable like figure 4 leg locks on top with a Nico, bro.
Woo! It's like that, it's like that, yo. Horison on the mic, it's like that, yo. It's like that.
I'm out of breath, man.
Woo! My man.
Oh, man.
Thank you for coming through, brother. But
All goods.
while I get your track Raiders on the Cat, which you can find out on all the platforms, man. Don't sleep on that. Why don't you let the people... you got anyone you want to give a shout out to or something like that?
I want to give a shout out to 116 Beagle Radio FM for having me. Bro Trey, aka MC Blaksawd. All the teams holding it down in Northland. LBB. Who are Productions. I'm following you, brother Sticks. I ain't met you yet, but I feel like we're gonna cross paths soon. Everybody on the scene, Big Fets and Drug Fuck. I ain't met you either, bro, but I'm following. Uncle's in the background watching.
Yo.
I want to give a shout out to my family, my wife particularly, for being here today.
Yes.
Always holding me down. And everybody that I've ever gotten in the mix with this music stuff, man. You all know who you are. I'm out of breath. I'm stumbling over my own words. I need a drink of water. We're about to get into Raiders on the Cap.
Wait, one more question, brother. Sorry, man. And I have to always ask a question that's community related.
Yep.
Because I'm a very community kind of guy.
Real.
For any of the young kids here in Whangarei that are listening or tuning in on the live feed here on Facebook or streaming online around the world, any of the youth, man, what's your words of encouragement for them for those cats who may be wanting to do what you're doing?
Everything is achievable. Everything is achievable. You wanna do music. You wanna write your own album. You wanna be the hottest producer in New Zealand. You wanna own a home. You can get out there and do it. Right? Take those steps. Never let anybody's negative opinion or that hold you back, because I've been there. Trey's been there. We will always move forward as long as you're willing to take those steps. When it comes to music, man, do music that applies to you. Keep it real, keep it honest, and go get that palace, your Brenner.
Yo. This is Beagle FM. I am your man, the mighty Blaksawd. We got Horison. This is Raiders in the Cap. Check it out.
See ya.
Raiders on the cap, Raiders on the cap, Raiders on the cap, Raiders on the cap. That shit mandatory, that shit mandatory, that shit mandatory.
And that's why every time you see me, I got
Raiders on the cap, Raiders on the cap, Raiders on the cap, Raiders on the cap. That shit mandatory, that shit mandatory, that shit mandatory.
And that's why every time you see me, Raiders on that 948 frame, homie. Snapbacks only, never flexing.